Well, I just churned out Binger Boneheaded moment number 7. And it has to do with the whole DNA analysis deal. Why did Binger put people on the stand to demonstrate to the jury that DNA analysis was not performed on the barrel of the rifle? And I got to thinking about it. How did this happen? And I think I know. After the Kenosha shooting, the Kenosha Police Department did a DNA swabbing of the rifle, but they didn't swab the barrel, which turns out to be the most important part. And so they send off the swabs to the state to get examined. Now, Binger, who is, by the way, a part of the executive branch along with the police department, could have easily ordered the rifle barrel swabbed, had those swabs sent to the state, and so he could find out if Joseph Rosenbaum actually got a hold of the rifle. And I have a feeling he knew he could do that. And I have a feeling he didn't do it on purpose. You see, if the samples came back and had Joseph Rosenbaum's DNA on the barrel, that would almost certainly deep six his argument. It would clearly show that Joseph Rosenbaum was trying to take Kyle Rittenhouse's gun from him. And that would basically put a nail in the coffin for his prosecution. It would demonstrate that Kyle did act in self-defense. If it comes back negative, all that shows is that Joseph Rosenbaum wasn't able to actually grab Kyle Rittenhouse's gun, but the defense never claimed that he did. Furthermore, just because the DNA is not on the rifle doesn't mean that Joseph Rosenbaum didn't get a hold of it. So in Binger's mind, he has far more to gain than lose by getting DNA results off the rifle barrel. And that's why he probably didn't do it. Now you may be thinking, well, smart, right? No, that's extraordinarily unethical. His job is to prosecute crimes. Real crimes made by real criminals, not to prosecute the innocent. Furthermore, it's his job to make sure that every case he takes has been thoroughly investigated, and part of an investigation is going to uncover stuff that might favor the defense. But you don't want to prosecute people who are innocent, so you should do a proper investigation and let the chips fall where they may. If the chips show that the person is innocent, then why would you want to prosecute him anyway? He's innocent. But Binger wants Kyle convicted badly. He doesn't care if Kyle's innocent or not. This is a perfect example of what I call the evidence box, right? And I always said there's a certain type of people out there that if it came across evidence in a box that exonerated Kyle Rittenhouse, in other words, showed unequivocally that he was innocent of all charges, they would bury it. They would not take it to the police. They would not take it to anybody. They would dig a hole in their backyard and they would bury it. Thomas Binger is one of those. He would do it. I think that his refusal to have the barrel swabbed for DNA was a perfect example of the evidence box. It could have generated results that exonerated Kyle Rittenhouse, and he didn't want to do it. So why didn't the defense do it? Well, I don't know. Obviously, they were concerned that it might show something that was unfavorable to their defense. But keep in mind, they have a legitimate client in mind here. They do have to go through and do all they can to help their client. Performing investigations that uncover the guilt of their client and then exposing that to discovery is not in their wheelhouse. But the prosecution should always keep an eye out for any evidence that favors the accused. We don't want to send innocent people to jail. But Thomas Clair Binger would have no trouble doing it. Now, what about the boneheaded part of this? I think the boneheaded part of this, if this is true, was putting those people on the stand, the police officer and the DNA expert. To put your experts on the stand who would then come up and say, Well, we actually didn't test the barrel, so we really can't tell you whether our results mean anything. It's extraordinarily embarrassing. So that wasn't smart. They should have never even listed them as witnesses. So, what do you think? If this is true, and if Thomas Clair Binger purposely did not get DNA results on the rifle barrel because it might exonerate the accused, then he's a bigger scumbag than I really thought. Wow, think about that for a moment.